Maiden's law is that no harm shall be done. Certainly not to women and children. Everybody knows that. Everybody lives by that credo. 5G is harm not only to women and children, but to men, police officers, military, all go down. This is a very brave man, Mark Steele. I have a great deal of honour and pleasure to me.
This is emails from me to all councillors. This was the court bundle in a civil case.
Right.
And obviously they're trying not to see this again. Information that they rely on for ICNI or Public Health England, it can't be relied on. Because Public Health England have told Gateshead Council that microwave radiation doesn't actually have a more deleterious effect on small living animals, which is complete garbage. In the council chamber, I was actually told that my assumption that microwave radiation has a more damaging, deleterious effect on small living things and small children is not based in science. Well, it's a scientific fact. A layperson knows that a 2-pound chicken doesn't take as long to cook as a 5-pound bird. I mean, where would we be without basic physics and science? Gateshead Council are relying on that information to show that these 5G transmitters that they're still in denial of are safe.
And I bet the councillors don't even know that 6G is your microwave oven.
Well, they just
do now.
They do now because they've actually seen my videos. The complicity and ignorance, as we all know, is no defence in law. All of these councillors now have all of the relevant...
So they're all on notice?
All on notice, all right.
So basically, in the event that they don't all come together, they're all going to fall down as one, because Mike will arrest a lot of them, won't he?
Well,
you better do.
Well, I think some police officers are going to want to arrest them.
Or we'll send the Yorkshireman back, and we'll get a proper Durham lad in, aye?
This is the technology that was replaced in the lighting. It's called Owlet. You'll see that's it there.
Owlet.
Owlet. That was replaced.
Right.
That was replaced.
And what does that do? That does...
It's basically a control management system for switching the lights on and off.
Yeah.
That's what they're supposed to do.
And your background is what then, Mark?
I've got a background in... I'm an inventor, so I've got a background in technology in this particular space, in the battlefield space, to mitigate these weapon systems.
Have you now? You're an absolute outright grade A1 expert then.
Yeah, well, there's some of my patents.
Right.
That's only a few of them, and this is a character witness statement from my...
no wonder they want you in jail.
Trying to gag people for telling the truth is absolutely bizarre. Even though the heavens may fall, justice will be served.
It will.
This is the bit of equipment that's in that light. It's on continuous transmission. It's a 25 milliwatt.
Right.
The maximum expose a human to for 6 minutes is 1.
1 milliwatt.
That's it's a cooking value.
Really? Yeah. 1 milliwatt is a cooking value.
It's a cooking value.
And they're exposing everybody to 25 times the cooking value.
Even the manufacturer says, look, the standards are 1 milliwatt per centimetre squared. But what he doesn't tell you, that's only for 6 minutes. This is 25 milliwatt, and it's on for 100% of the time. Wow. So absolutely kills anything, any small flying pollinators.
Right. Yeah.
And
so we've got Ian Crane doing a great job. He's going to get a lot of people, hopefully, to your court case on the 8th of February, coming up in 2019. So that's what you want, isn't it? People to support you. So this has got to go out.
This
and go
sub-gigahertz frequency is it's basically long-range radar.
Right.
So it's long-range radar in the sub-gigahertz range. This is your 5G, by the way. This is phased array radar. 1 kilometre typical, urban up to 5 kilometres. But that's not the case. It's a lot further than that. In fact, some of these sub-gigahertz frequencies travel thousands of kilometres.
Right, so. And none of this has been tested, and there's been no consultation with the public whatsoever.
No, well, the councillors still think it's a control management system. They think it's 2G, 3G, or so they've been told. Now, they have been misinformed, because that's not the case.
What have they got to lose, and what have they got to gain for coming down on the right or the wrong side?
Everything to gain to come down on the right side, and everything to lose to come down on the wrong side.
Right, just to make it clear to the councillors then, isn't it? So they need to stand up and take their heads out of the proverbial and get going, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. This is the downlink. These are 5G downlink. The difference with 5G is not an uplink system, it's a downlink, so it actually fires a signal at you and not picks it up the other way.
Oh, I see, which is what 4G and 3G and 2G and 1G.
All right, so these are, and this is about the type of antenna design. Yeah. They're absolutely lethal. You can see that operating.
And it's an Israeli military pattern, is that right?
I don't know where the patterns come from. If you go and search for the patterns, what's called direct energy weapons, and obviously because they're secret, nobody knows a great deal about.
That's
but
right.
that's what 5G
well, they have rifles apparently as well, don't they? 5G rifles.
Yeah. So this is what the manufacturer says this antenna is capable of, right? It can monitor such applications as pollution, so it can manage your pollution, it can see where your car's parked. It's basically phased array radar.
Yeah.
Winter maintenance, you can see how much snow's on the ground, what's in your bin, basically spanning every device, a multitude of your devices in your home. So anything you've got that's connected in your home, any IoT.
The Internet of Things, the IoT, yeah.
This is the link, but what's really appalling, what I really got concerned about, is that.
Right.
That's called a dielectric lens, and you'll see this is the antenna on the leaf nut system.
Right.
This is the high gain part of the antenna, which takes it outside of all of the regulatory
standards. There's one of these in every
single light,
LED light. So it's all in one integrated unit, then, yeah.
Each element, well, the whole system, 31,875 units, can act as one. So they calibrate each other to each other, and they can act as one single element, and that's where you punch out a signal. It's called a beam wave. They're absolutely lethal.
So then one lamppost can literally kill one person?
25 milliwatt, a collimated 25 milliwatt, it would probably take maybe a couple. It would probably do you a serious injury. It'd give you probably brain injury.
Kill you 3 months later, yeah.
This bit will give you cancer. This phased array bit, this is the scanning bit. This is the shooting bit. Both aren't breaching your human rights. I mean, I don't think there's any government given the right to kill its population. This is the FCC approval for this particular project. See some very interesting hardware in here. This isn't 2G, 3G communications. A lot of very, very integrated chip systems, all Chinese equipment.
Well, if it's Chinese, then presumably the Chinese military is able to back all the data as well, with back
everything
doors
that's
and everything.
embedded. All these chips are embedded. Right. It's all embedded hardware.
So you can't get at any of it. It's all
the Chinese can't.
The Chinese can, but nobody else can. So basically,
well, I'm not saying anybody else can. I think there's a lot of people hacking.
Whatever.
A lot of people could hack into this system.
Right. So then basically, it's a national security issue more than anything.
This is a major national security issue. Here's the dielectric lens, a better image of it.
Yeah.
It's like a teardrop. You see how it shoots the signal?
Yeah.
Off the top of a light. See that? That's what we've got all over the country now, masquerading as a control management system. And it's to shoot an autonomous vehicle.
It just makes you ill looking at it, doesn't it? Probably the most erudite technologist in the country. Would that be correct to say that?
It would be correct, but the reason for that is because I'm an inventor, and obviously for me to invent products in this particular space, I have to be a bit of a nerd when it comes to these type of technologies.
Gosh, super nerd.
Council 1815 resolution, right? ALORA, as low as reasonably achievable. Now 5G is the exact opposite of that.
Right.
So this is the Council of Europe. Right, and so what they're saying is you have to apply ALORA because
that's low as reasonably achievable. I see.
It's the same as what's applied in the nuclear industry where ionising radiation. So they're stating this for non-ionising radiation, but that's on the back of the science. The science is absolutely deplorable. The epidemiological data, we've got kids committing suicide. We've got massive increase, 70,000 children self-harming in schools. It's a Wi-Fi in the schools, and it's damaging small children more than any other. So
that's right, and apparently the iPad is designed to make young girls sterile, is that correct?
Well, it most certainly will cause them significant problems
in getting pregnant later.
This is microwave radiation on a heart. That's how it damages your heart. That's heart cancer, oxidative stress, electrohypersensitivity. People, let's just go on.
So all of the courts have had all of this, have they?
The courts of this bundle was actually presented in a civil case. This is a child.
So if the police are not taking notice of this, then they're in absolute dereliction of duty, is it not?
Absolutely. The police. We've got witness statements.
Right.
This young chap.
So have we got any policemen coming to support you in court? Because we damn well ought to have.
Well, we had an honest police officer at the civil case where he told the truth. I congratulate him, PC Hyde. He told the truth in my case where council worker or whatever they call them, someone coming to my home to serve me papers, where he stated to the court that I'd made threats to kill. It was a total fabrication. Not only did the PC Hyde confirm that wasn't the case, the video evidence confirmed it, and also other witness statements.
On YouTube, we just watched it.
Yeah. So the police came to my home to investigate what had happened to this young chap. His father's witness statement, John Hills.
John Hills. Yeah. Well, this is what will happen to the children of pretty much everybody in the country then.
Children.
Is that right? That sounds so apocalyptical that
children are
it's literally unbelievable.
This is a Facebook page of a young child. Mother posted this up.
Oh my God.
Another nosebleeds. So we've got nosebleeds all over. The transmitter's just outside of the bedroom window. This is a Japanese study to extrapolate that into millivolts, because we keep it millivolts because it's easy. People can understand it with a metering system. In a building, tinnitus, headache, I mean, all of these illnesses, 66 compared to 13 when the transmitters were removed. And this is at 800 megahertz, so similar to the radar that's been fitted in Gateshead. So this is published peer reviewed.
So all your evidence is peer reviewed, every single bit of it is absolutely watertight then? Yeah.
Totally peer reviewed, scientific.
Right.
The council tried to say that it was pseudoscience. I mean, we had Harvard, Exeter University, Ramsini Institute, National Toxicology Programme.
And who was trying to say that it's unscientific?
The council said it was unscientific. They said it was pseudoscience, and I was a conspiracy theorist. People suffering tachycardia, arrhythmias, eye pain, you know, we hear lots of this. We also have lots of people suffering shoulder pain, shoulder stiffness. I mean, look at the numbers. 7 while it was this 800 megahertz transmitter, and we're talking about levels that are way below what we're seeing in Gateshead. So we've got also this was a Reuters. We've got the science for this women's sort of miscarriage rates, because obviously we've seen that in Gateshead where the number of people that lost babies. People with implants, they're more risk because they act as an antenna in the body. So people with metal teeth, hip replacements, all act as antennas. Unfortunately, your dog's chip causes cancer. What it's supposed to be for.
Gosh.
But that's exactly what it is for.
So they can see inside your house?
Yeah. It's in breach of human rights.
So it's a breach of privacy rights?
Absolutely. Everything. And they can see into the urban environment at significant distance. Focused signal over the 1 milliwatt for 6 minutes. Breach IC and IRP guidelines and every other guideline and rule and safety standard. Lloyds won't insure any transmitter for harm to humans.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the reason, because they're very harmful.
Yeah, so why would it insure anyone?
Exactly.
So that means basically what we're looking at is a class action suit against all county councils then, really, isn't it? This
is for 60 nanometers. This is the blue phosphor coated LEDs that you see in the streets now on your motorways.
Wow.
This is lethal. This is
on the motorways.
On the motorways.
So don't drive at night?
Don't drive at night unless you wear protective eyewear.
Which is what?
Reflective mirror coated lenses.
Like the one you've got at the moment?
These ones are better. So they've actually got a mirror that are an ABS plate.
How much is it going to cost for you to win this case then?
Obviously the barristers are going to work as diligently as they possibly can, because they don't want to die. But obviously there's a lot of travelling, there's a lot of papers, there's a lot of filing.
How long will the case go on for, do you think?
Well, it's like how long's a piece of string. Right. We don't really know. What we've got to do is go on the offensive. We cannot allow councils just to try and gag truth tellers. People trying to tell the truth, and what these councils are trying to do is damage democracy. So it's an attack on democracy.
But what I can't understand is if they understand that this is lethal, how do they get away from being killed themselves?
Well, I mean,
they're just getting the money in the short term.
It's a question for them. Do they have a villa somewhere abroad? I mean, I don't know. It's a question for them. Anybody that even thinks about going underground with an ideology that wants to wipe out white humanity off the face of the earth, believers, you're pretty stupid, because you're going to get it first. And I've always said that.
This could be an AI-mediated full-scale attack on everybody.
This will be a full-scale attack on everybody.
Simultaneously?
Across
the whole country?
Across the whole country.
And then when do you reckon it's coming online?
2021. We don't get this stopped. We have to stop this now.
Yeah, or we're all
otherwise
dead. We're all dead.
We're potentially all dead. We've got the French Food Environmental Occupational Health. They're telling you how these LEDs cause toxic stress to the retina.
Right.
So the French know that they are.
Yeah.
Right. These are government agencies that governments are ignoring. They're ignoring. This is AMA, the Medical Association, where they show that these pulse modulated LED blue phosphor coated lamps are absolutely lethal.
But who's behind this?
Biology. I'm not sure. And like I said, I don't speculate, I just stick to the science. Facts, man. That's me. Exeter and Barcelona University. And what the issue is, both indoor and outdoor artificial light, particular blue enriched light spectrum, were associated with an increased risk of breast and prostate cancer. These lighting systems have only been in for a very small number of years, and we've already seen a significant increase in breast and prostate cancers in these locations. So this stuff is lethal, it wouldn't pass any regulatory standard. That's in breach of the precautionary principle.
This is basically an all-out assault.
It's all out assault. It's a precautionary principle. These are European acts. I know a lot of people are up in arms about Brexit and all the rest of it. What we have to understand is this isn't just UK parliamentary acts. Authorities aren't allowed to harm their communities. Directives as far as wild birds are concerned.
Small songbirds and so on that just get whacked by
them off. You can see the light levels, very, very high levels of light. This pulse modulated radiation, it's very, very dangerous. And you can see the elements. There's the elements. There's no diffuser. Straight out to the...
and if there was a diffuser placed in them, would that help?
It would make a massive difference to the toxicity.
Why did they not put anything in to protect people's eyes? Absolutely gobsmacked. And I'm hoping that Mike will be too.
Well, I rolled it out in Durham. Children are significantly more impacted. Their eyes are a lot more sensitive. Young children being taken out in this lighting, it's absolutely lethal. Any oxidative stress, which it damages the cellular cells.
Yeah.
So you get cell death, oxidative stress. This is not natural light. This is pulsed modulated light, which makes it really dangerous. It's a stop-start square wave, and that's what makes it toxic. We've also got the 5G space appeal, which we now have 370 of the world's leading scientists who are appealing for a moratorium for 5G. And this is why our local authorities are still stating they don't have 5G when we have proven beyond any shadow of doubt they do.
Because the judiciary will get it in the neck first, presumably, even before the police and the military.
Well, it's exactly. If this is an attack on the country, it's potentially
go for the top first, isn't it?
Go for the top people first. Take out the military, the heads of the military. It's probably why Gavin Williams, the head of the Ministry of Defence, is concerned. You have the head of MI6, who's also very concerned about this 5G technology, and you can see why. So,
presumably that person is human, therefore they're at risk from dying of cancer too, isn't it?
If I attack a country, attack an economy, I mean, when the blanket bombed Germany during the Second World War, it was actually to demoralise the workforce. But if you make the workforce sick, it's the same attack, because this causes neurological disorders.
So who's making the money behind this then?
There's no money in it. There's absolutely no money in it.
No money in it at all?
This is economic terrorism.
By who?
Like I said, I don't speculate.
But normally one says follow the money, isn't it? And who's going to make the
always
money?
Follow the money.
But this doesn't make any money.
Q bono. Well, there's obviously another agenda then, isn't it?
Oh my God.
So this is SHEAR. These are the emerging risk team in Europe.
Right.
Once again, young children, adolescents and elderly people, children with high sensitive blue light, between 400 and 500 nanometers. And they may induce photochemical retinopathy. So that means damage to the retina.
It induces photochemical retinopathy, which may concern, especially for children below 3 years of age. Older people may experience discomfort from exposure to light that is rich in blue light. So basically, old people and young people need to be wearing sunglasses. Everyone does.
We need to get rid of these killer technologies.
Killer technologies.
Killer tech. Look at the jump up there.
My God. Gatehead at the top.
600 millivolts, the minimum, with a maximum of 4,000 we've measured, and we have an average roughly from all of the measurements that we've taken about 1,200. There isn't any safe level. It's safe level 0. The Bioinitiative report says 30 millivolts should be the max, and the Council of Europe decision was 200.
They're trying to brand you as a protester, but you're not a protester, you're a technologist.
I'm not a protester.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a protester.
You're just saying very clearly, blowing the whistle, that this will kill everything.
Yeah. What we found in the court, they don't know what they've got, and neither does any other council who put this control management system technology out, operating in the sub-gigahertz frequency. They don't know what it is. Any police officer doing his lawful duty at night needs to have protective eyewear, at least. They need protective screens on the vehicles. Chief constables have a duty of care to their officers. Unfortunately, in this instance, nobody's warned them. So, they're sending police officers out to do their duty and putting them at significant risk.
Thank you so much for your time, Mark. It's really, really amazing that you're standing up. A very brave man. Thank you. I want to meet you, man.
Cheers.